Hi, Tom Cole, the coach for Steve Taylor's Community Connection. And I'm here with a wonderful young lady, Elaina Hernandez. And in the pre-interview when we were chatting, Elaina, thank you so much for being with us today. You were giving me the name and of the authentic name of the group organization. You're talking to a guy that A, isn't that smart, and you'll figure that out by the time we get done with this interview. I had, let's see, 4 years of French in high school and college and 2 years of Latin. And from that 6-year experience, I know one word, qu'est-ce que c'est in French, which means now. So me doing the Hispanic translation is not gonna work. Give me the name of the organization.
So the name of the dance group is El Corazón de México, which means the heart of Mexico.
The heart of Mexico, that's very cool. That's a wonderful name, the heart of Mexico. And then you have a program coming up, and tell us, I know Believe is in there, help me with that.
So our event that's coming up is our Thank You for Believing. It's an annual benefit that we have that helps the dance group, El Corazón de México, and also helps the Believe Center, which is our home in the Old South End.
What are the dates of this event?
So the date for the event for the Thank You for Believing is Saturday, April 5th. It will be from 5 until 8 o'clock. It will be a showcase of dances from different regions of Mexico. So every 10 minutes, it's going to be different dancing. So it's just nonstop dancing. Plus we have food and we have raffles. It's just a really great time and it's family friendly.
And you know this, I'm not telling you something you don't know, but Melinda has done so much in our Taylor organization for the Hispanic community. She just is amazing, and the projects that she's brought to us to make us more aware of what's going on in the Hispanic community. I know you even bought a car from Melinda, which we appreciate your business. We thank you so much for that. But one thing I've noticed in some of these projects, what dance means to the people involved. Give me the ages, basically, that the people are involved in the dance, and then talk a little bit, because you're a dance person. Dance to me, I think, is kind of special. I've seen it through the years, things I've hosted, things I've been around, things I've interviewed. It tells you a lot about a person. You know, they learn a lot about themselves. I think their confidence, how they present themselves, but you can talk better to it than I. Talk about that a little bit.
I've been doing Mexican folk dancing since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And what's really cool about Mexican folk dancing is it's actually storytelling, right? So it's passed on from director to director. But one of the things that I learned when I wanted to become a folkloric dancer is that my family has a history of folkloric dancers. My grandmother was a folkloric dancer. My aunts and some of my uncles were folkloric dancers. When I started dancing, my sister danced with me. My husband was in the same dance group we were in when we were children.
Oh, how cool is that?
So, and now that I have my own group, some of the people that I danced with or even that I directed, now I'm teaching their children. So it's something that's passed on generational. It really is a storytelling of different kinds of dances from different regions within Mexico. And Toledo has a really deep history of folkloric dance. So before they would have these festivals, street festivals, and there would be dance groups that would be there. It's part of religious ceremonies. When girls have their quinceañeras, which is their 15th birthday party, they have folkloric dancers who are there. It just really adds to the celebration and a way for us to express ourselves on being Mexican American and staying connected to our heritage, because we'll have some dancers who maybe their parents are from Mexico, but they've never been to Mexico, or they're second, third generation Mexican American. They've lost a lot of their culture. Maybe they don't speak Spanish anymore. Maybe they don't eat a lot of the traditional meals anymore. But when they come together with the group, they can express themselves, they can feel like they're connected to their community, and they're with other kids who are just like them, who are also learning about their culture and trying to fit in, because it's kind of a weird place to be Mexican American. You're very proud of your culture, but you're also proud of being American. I mean, you want to make sure that there's a balance that's there, and you don't want to feel weird. But let's face it, I mean, you're a folkloric dancer, you're kind of weird.
Well, you know, you made a very salient point there, is you don't want to lose your Mexican heritage and roots, yet you still want to be American. There's a middle ground there somewhere, and I think that's what you're trying to hit. You know, I spent a lifetime teaching and coaching, Elaina, and just on the coaching standpoint, I knew when I was working with young athletes, whether they were a star or not was inconsequential. The fact that they learned a skill and they learned a craft. They learned to throw a football, catch a football, be proficient at blocking or tackling or whatever it turned out to be. It innately built a confidence in them that carried, in a discipline, a confidence and a discipline that carried through the rest of their lives and helped make them successful. I'm kind of thinking your dance scenario is the same type thing.
It does. It helps these dancers feel accountable, right? So even during COVID, we still practiced. And I think that was really an important part for us because we were one of the few stable things that was part of their lives. Now, we didn't practice in person. You know, once everything shut down, we took 2 weeks off and then we figured we have to figure something out. We have to do something. We practiced on Zoom. It wasn't even about practicing. It was really about keeping these kids connected so that they knew that their community, their dance community cared about them and made sure that they were okay. We'd practice a little bit, don't practice on Zoom dancing. It's horrible. It's so much lagging. Like, you just really can't do anything.
The buffering occurs and you're kind of frozen in the,
The music doesn't play.
Yeah.
But it was an opportunity for them to talk to each other, for them to really build a strong relationship. So then once we could come back together, it wasn't weird. They were used to being with these kids, but it also too holds them accountable in other ways because not just are we dancing, but we're checking to make sure that their grades are well, that, if they want to go to college, that we're writing recommendation letters for them, that we're letting them know about the scholarships that are available to them. If there's social services that their family needs, we're helping them get those kind of services that they need. So I always tell the dancers that, because our dancers, they all have good families.
Yes.
But they don't always have the network that they need to move forward professionally. So what we're doing is we're actually creating our own network. Now we have dancers who are lawyers, we have dancers who are nurses, we have a dancer who's a police officer. We have people who work in admissions at Michigan University, university students. So we're creating our own network so then that way when our kids have these questions about how they're going to be successful or they need to find out how to get a job or where they should move on with different kinds of services, we can go to the past dancers and have them help them move forward. So, because like I said, yes, they have very supportive families, but they may not have that professional network that they need to move forward in their careers. So it's not just about the dance. When I was young, I started this group when I was 15.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been dancing since I was 6. And when I started it at 15, I just wanted to continue dancing, not realizing what this would grow into. There were only 9 of us at the time.
Right.
There are 76 active members in this group now.
How cool.
And we provide all of our dancing is free, all of the costuming is free. They only have to buy 1 costume. And even that will help them with if they need it. But it turned into something different. It's not because we tried to make it be that. It was just, that was what our dancers needed. They needed to have extra support so that they can be successful. And the hope is that when they get older, that then they will return and give back to their community. So by setting an example to them, then they may find something that they're very passionate about that they want to help the next generation. And anytime I have dancers who have moved on and who are professionals now, and they'll say, hey, we want to come back and practice with you, or we're going to do performance. I always tell them, yeah, come back, come dance with us. And the main reason is because I want to have these dancers see these other older dancers who are professional who've come back. They'll tell their stories about, oh, Elaina made us do this, or Elaina made us do that. But also too, again, then they get to know them. If they have questions about school, professional questions, all of that, they have that connection and they know that that's somebody that they can trust to look to.
Elaina, what you're doing is so very cool, and it's a difference-making project. There's a book out that Malcolm Gladwell wrote it. It's called Tipping Point, and he studied what makes a difference in society, a positive difference, right? He came to the conclusion that what makes a real difference are local groups in communities doing positive things, just like your dance group. And that filters out into the community and touches so many people. So it's localized, positive activity that filters out and changes people's lives. And you're doing that. And that's gotta make your heart feel good, because I know as a teacher and a coach, when you see somebody be successful, not that you claim it, but you do think I think we helped them a little bit. That's got to make you feel good.
It makes me feel great. So sometimes I'll get some of my dancers who are older, who've stopped dancing, and they'll get together. And the one time, one of them sent me a video of them dancing at midnight. They had gotten together at a party.
Yeah.
They had put on some of the folkloric music.
Yeah.
And they were dancing in a living room. And then they sent me that video. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed. I know that these things make a lasting impact on these kids. And the fact that they want to share that with me, and that they also want to share that with the youth that are below them. So I think it's
that's
really
a show of respect to you. I mean, I know enough about teaching and coaching, and what you're doing is teaching and coaching, that they don't share those things if they don't highly respect what you've done for them. That's actually, it's a reflective mirror. It comes back to you. Now, Elaina, the key question is, can you, somebody who's totally unathletic, 2 left feet, do you think in an hour you could teach me the Mexican folk dancing? Is that possible?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna look forward to getting that opportunity.
You can come to the Thank You for Believing benefit, and we can showcase you. You can take one of the slots.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go, Elaina. I just remember one thing. I'm super sensitive, so if you yell at me, I'll start crying right on the spot. It's just kind of the way I am. So China yells at me, and I'll cry right on camera, and she has to edit it out. So
Well, when I teach, I try and just make it general.
Okay.
So I'm like, somebody's not doing this.
The big dummy on the right, you're not moving properly.
I don't usually do it like that, but the problem is if you're the only one who's in the room, and I'm like, someone's not turning the correct way. Someone's not turning to the right.
I get it.
No names.
Yeah, I get it. Elaina, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you. Toledo has such a strong Hispanic community and such an important community that we need to continue to help lift up, help make more of an impact, and you are doing that every day. So we're so very proud of you. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, our honor. Tom Cole, the coach for Steve Taylor Community Connection.